Remember the good old days of people putting PS2s in the backs of their cars with TVs and big speakers? Well, cars practically all have TVs in them now, and big speakers, well, we got that covered with Alpha 1. But since it's not the year 2000 anymore, let's see what it takes to get this PS5 in an F30. Welcome back, I'm Dylan with Beamer Tech. You've heard us talk about our MMI Pro in countless videos before, but without getting too carried away, with it, you get wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, camera integration, video and audio playback via the USB port, and today's topic, the HDMI port, which brings you near limitless capabilities. Yes, putting a PS5 in your BMW and viewing it on your iDrive screen is a bit gimmicky, but this is just to show you that if you can think of it, you can do it. Of course, never use something like this while driving, even if you're the passenger. This is just for when you're parked. As much as we'd love to say you could just hook up the HDMI cable to the PS5 and call it a day, there's this little thing called power. Now, to get this to work, you will need an inverter that's going to be hooking up directly to your car's battery. Trying to plug in an inverter to one of the 12-volt plugs in your BMW will just result in a blown fuse, since at its peak, the PS5 does draw a lot of power. Now, since we will be installing an inverter that hooks up directly to your car's battery, we're going to be installing this PS5 in the trunk, which means we need a way to mount it to the trunk, and then we need an HDMI cable that runs all the way to the front of the vehicle where the MMI Pro is. And before anyone says anything about HDMI signal degradation, people argue that degradation happens anywhere from 5 feet to 50 feet, so it's all over the place. But regardless, we're transmitting this signal to an iDrive screen, so we'll be fine. When it comes to mounting it, well, you could sort of do whatever you want. The way we're doing it, well, there's probably a better way, but we wanted a way that was both safe and cost-effective. The safest way would be to, well, not mount your PS5 at all. Instead, keep it in a well-padded case or bag and only take it out and plug it in when you intend on using it. But since this idea is already extra, we figured why not go all the way? Either way, Jarrett, take it. Oh, wait, I think I'm doing this one.
Step 1, we're going to Home Depot. And now, off to the shop to get it all prepped and installed.
Up first, I'm going to install the HDMI cable, and mainly it's because, if it's not long enough, I'll have time to order a new one while I'm doing everything else. Let's go see. Ooh, 3D. That didn't need to happen because we ran our HDMI extension cable, which goes right down here. And I could just plug the HDMI cable into that and not the MMI Pro. Well. Okay, there's just one. Well, since we are currently experiencing a severe cable tie shortage here in the shop. Severe cable tie shortage in the shop. We're going to use them very sparingly for the rest of this install. Alright, so the HDMI cable has been perfectly run so far, only using 2 cable ties. And I did not doubt for 1 second that I wouldn't have enough cable to reach the back. Never. So now the HDMI cable has been run. Now exactly where I'm gonna run it to and how I'm gonna finish it up in the trunk, up for debate right now until I get the PS5 in there to see exactly how I wanna run it. Now the battery is down here, and regardless, this panel does need to come out because that's where we're gonna put the inverter. So I'm gonna leave the HDMI cable as it is for now and then move on to the inverter. So let's get to now taking this part of the car apart. Now, a good place to mount this inverter would actually be up here, but that is where we have the control box for our power trunk, and I really don't want to mount it to that or remove that. So the other thing I thought of would be, not ideal, but right down here. We'll give it a shot, mount it there, wire it up, straight there to the positive. Ground I will find somewhere around here, and then we'll be good to go. So, slight change of plan. Instead of mounting it vertically, like I originally thought, I'm gonna mount it horizontally, because I thought, you know, you might not always want this on. So you have this power switch here, and if I mounted it vertically, well, you'd never be able to get that. All right, got the inverter in, it turns on, which is a good sign. Let's button all this up and then get ready to put the PS3 in. PS3, PS5 in. It is day 2, the F30 is up front, so we got the G01 back here as a little bit of a backdrop. And now we are going to, and by we I mean I am going to prep the hardware, because this is hard metal and we don't want that. Well, this is actually the countertop. This is hard metal. We don't want that. So let me show you what I'm planning on doing. So these are the brackets that I'm gonna have go on the front and back of the PS5, and these are the brackets that will go on the sides and top of the PS5. Have you ever wondered how Plasti Dip got its name? So I'm gonna dip each of these pieces in there, wait 30 minutes, and do another few coats until I feel they are good to go. Now, with these, I was experimenting a little bit with them. I taped off the ends, and then I realized, wait a minute, that gaff tape actually holds very well, looks very good, and will protect the PS5. And if you think I'm cheaping out a little bit by using gaff tape on the metal brackets, you know how much gaff tape costs? Not cheaping out. Oh, that smells strong. And now wait 30 minutes and apply another coat. I think while that's happening, I might just prep the rest of the brackets with the gaff tape and be ready to go. Now you might be wondering why I didn't just cover the L brackets in gaff tape. It's a very good question. All right, so the Plasti dipping is done, and upon further inspection, I probably should have just used gaff tape on those two. Oh well, it is what it is. Now let's get to actually putting the PS5 in the F30. Step 1, get this cargo net out of the way. Also, those cables in the back there, that is for our sub 10 trunk sub. We removed the sub, but left the cables. All right, that is our limit, right there. The one thing I don't like that I want to address here is that this is not flat. It does wobble a little bit because, oh, that's just the design of it. So these we have attached to our amps for shipping. These slide perfectly under here, which allows this to not move. The hardest part for me is going to be bending these to actually fit the way I need them to. I did anticipate having a little bit more space here because I can't drill into here again because the floor is underneath there. So this might not actually work. Time to think, time to think. And I am now in the G01 heading back to Home Depot because, well, now my idea is instead of trying to make those clamps work, why don't I just get some really long bolts that will feed through there and just go straight into the floor, mounting it that way. It might not look as good, but it's gonna work. I ended up getting some of these. Problem is, these are much wider than M4 bolts, but still better than trying to bend those straps. With those holes drilled in that bracket, it is finally coming together, and guys, I'm gonna say I'm getting a little bit excited now about this final product. So let's get it all finished. I will say we've reached the point in this installation where I can measure everything and get it right down to the millimeter, or I could just wing it. Pretty sure you know which one I'm gonna do based off of how it's going so far. It is now time for irreversible damage of the F30's floorboard. Now for the last bracket right here. Now, if you do plan on doing this at home, please measure, because if you make a mistake, well, you could be drilling into parts of your BMW you don't want to drill into. So since these are not obviously going to be easily removable if you want to take your PS5 out, I opted for wing nuts so that way you could remove this and hopefully just lift the PS5 out. Just want to get this going into the floor panel, so that way I could hopefully flip it and get those wing nuts installed. I love it when a project you're unsure about comes together and works. Oh my gosh, guys, this isn't going anywhere. Look at that. That is a work of art. It's installed, and you know what that means. Plug it in and play some games. Everything is plugged in. I'm gonna open this bay door behind us, back up the car a little bit so that way we can have it running, because this is probably gonna drain the battery instantly. And then let's fire it up because I'm excited. All right, so I am gonna ask that you excuse the engine noise for this one. I do have to have the car running because, well, I don't wanna kill the battery. We're gonna go to inputs, we're gonna go to HDMI, and I will turn on the PlayStation. It's very anticlimactic. Perhaps the PlayStation didn't turn on. Let me try turning it on from the PlayStation itself. Moment of truth. Looks great. Awesome. Oh. Let's go. Well, this just means it was turned off at the wrong time, but look at this, look at this. Huh. I hope that's just a bad HDMI cable. Do you have a 20-foot HDMI cable? So it's probably a bad HDMI cable. I probably should have tested that before I ran the whole thing, but I'm gonna try plugging it directly into the MMI, see if that fixes it. If not, well, we're just gonna have to get a new cable. It appears we have a bad HDMI cable. It's a new day, it's a new HDMI cable. Let's finally get this PS5 installed. New HDMI cable installed. You've already seen that done once. I'm not gonna do it again. So let's get up front, plug this into the MMI, and finally fire it up and play some video games. I mean, who doesn't like getting paid to play video games at work, right?
The CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer.
Everything is once again buttoned up. Let's fire up the F30, get the engine running. We have a door open back here. Again, I apologize for the noise, but let's see if this will finally work. All right, gonna switch over to iDrive. Go over to inputs. Gonna select HDMI and fire it up. I heard a beep. Bam! PS5 on the MMI Pro, LCI. That is awesome. And no awful green screen. We're gonna play as CJ. Let's see what we got. I think he has GTA on here. Oh, Goat Simulator. We can't go wrong with some Goat Simulator. So for copyright reasons, we're not gonna have any of the audio playing, but Yo, CJ, just got a little Goat Simulator happening.
But if it's anything bigger than that, you'll
Oh, you got GTA 3. So as you guys can see, the crew is super excited. CJ probably wants this installed in his X5. Guys, with the MMI Pro LCI, anything is possible. Literally, as long as you have a way to get power, you can have anything on the screen that you want. I'm gonna finish this video up eventually. He's got GTA 3 in here, so I'm gonna be busy for the next couple hours. Drive Miss Misty for me. CJ didn't get very far. This is like the second level. Yeah, just come back to me later. Now that is awesome. It can be done. Let's now cut to the scripted outro. And that is how you install a PS5 in a BMW using our MMI Pro. Is it gimmicky? Of course. Do we recommend it? No. But we just wanted to show you what is possible using the HDMI port on our wireless CarPlay and Android Auto MMI Pro. What do you want to see us install next? Let us know in the comments below. But as always, for more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Minis, and Supras, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our site and sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching. I still choose this one.